11 things Marvel Rivals did right. Rivals undoubtedly has been a huge success, pulling in people from what seems like the entire gaming community all into one spot. Today we're going to be looking at why that is. What are some of the things that they've added to this game that people love, and what is really behind that success?
PSA, the gameplay is me trying to learn Spider-Man. I would say I'm in the early stages of learning the hero, so don't be too harsh on me.
Starting with number 1, hero design. The heroes in Marvel Rivals are deep. There isn't a single hero in the game that you could just pick up and play for 3 or 4 games and fully get the gist of. Every single hero has a ton of stuff you could learn about it to fully understand their kit, whether that's how the abilities work themselves, how they work against the enemies, how they work with your teammates. There's so many heroes in this game that are just so layered in deep. It seems like every time I load up Twitter, I see some crazy new Doctor Strange portal tech or just some interaction in the game that I didn't think about. And that's what's awesome, is this game has so many layers to it. When you play Rivals, you just have so much creative freedom. And this makes the game both interesting at a super casual level and at a competitive level. On both fronts, it's very interesting to try to push these heroes to their limits. It feels like there's a hero in the game for everyone, whether you want to run around like a madman with a Captain America shield, or you're more of a Kovacs Kyle that just sits in the back and likes to show off your good aim on Hela. Every single hero is so unique. No two heroes feel the same to play. It just makes it, for me personally, that not only do I want to play more on my mains, like I've been playing a lot of Squirrel Girl and Black Panther, and I want to get better at those heroes and really maximize what I could do on those heroes, but it's also every time I try out a new hero, I'm like, wait a minute, this hero is really fun. I think it's obviously like the main reason that this game is succeeding. Number 2, the developers are high-rated hero shooter players. If you don't know, the developers of Rivals are all very high-rated Overwatch players, and I think this is very important for a competitive game to succeed. And by competitive, I don't necessarily mean like on the esports level. I'm more just talking about like a team versus another team where both teams are trying to win. I come from Overwatch, and that game had the problem, I think personally, that a lot of the developers of Overwatch 1 just didn't understand their game. And they ended up making Brigitte, which was basically a support character with a shield that could apply damage mitigating armor that essentially made like half the heroes in the roster useless. And that hero was oppressive for years. It absolutely killed Overwatch. The game's reputation has never been the same since that hero came out. And the developers of that game were just like, oh, the players just need to find a way around it, right? The players just need to figure out what works to beat Brig. But there was nothing to beat Brig because it was obviously a broken hero. And so the fact that the developers of Rivals are high-rated players means that they not only understand how the heroes in the game works individually, but they understand how the heroes will work as a team, and when you try to combine them together to try to win the game, you know? And so I just don't think they're ever going to make an awful hero like Brig. Now, sure, it's not perfect. Sure, like the support alts in the game all feel kind of nuts. Seems like every single fight, they either have Cloak and Dagger out or Luna alt, or they have like Loki alt, and they're duping our Luna Snow, so they have it anyways. I'm not saying that just because the developers are high ranked, it's automatically going to make it like a perfectly balanced experience, but anything beats launch Brig, if you ask me. One example of the developers really understanding their game is at launch, the community all kind of like agreed that Wolverine wasn't very good. And the developers were like, no, you guys just aren't playing him right. You guys just need to figure out how to play him. And then, you know, people started learning Wolverine, and now there's players that reached the highest rank on Wolverine, and he's just a very good tank busting hero. A good Wolverine is gonna just farm your tanks and be an absolute nuisance. And so it's like the developers know their shit, you know? And so just moving forward, I can have an optimistic view of where this game is heading because I trust them to actually know their game, which is a lot more than I could say about some other games. Number 3, hero bans at high rank. I wasn't sure originally if I liked the concept of hero bans. Basically how it works is in games above Diamond, each team gets to ban 2 heroes. And having this in the game just gives you so much agency over what you want your games to look like. If I'm a Squirrel Girl player and I'm constantly losing to the Hulk Iron Man team up, I'm probably going to try to get Bruce Banner banned as soon as I can. The bans really let you tailor the game to how you want it to be, and you can just ban what you think is oppressive. If Rivals ever does mess up and releases a really busted hero, then people can just choose to ban it, you know? Like, it's just like the perfect system just to give them a little bit of a buffer when it comes to these really annoying, these really busted heroes. In my opinion, it should be expanded to lower rank. The argument against that, I guess, is a little bit of like, like, or the lower ranks really concerned about what's at the top of the meta. But I don't think that matters necessarily, because I think what's great about hero bans is that it gives me like a freedom of mind. If I'm in silver and Iron Fist is my least favorite hero to go against, I can just ban that. And it's just as easy as that. Obviously, you got to convince your team to also ban it, but the point is you can try to get these things banned that you want to get banned, and you can control the games. So I don't know. I really love the system, and I think it's an absolute must for these kind of games after having actually played it. Number 4 is the content, dude. There's so much content they have coming out for this game. You're doing a new hero every month and a half with a new map every season. It's just, they're pumping stuff out, dude. They have so much on the way. I think it's really going to help for keeping the game feel fresh and keep people excited about the game that they're playing. By the time you actually manage to learn the new hero, the next one's on the way. It's non-stop, and I think it's really going to keep people playing this game for a long time, and it has people excited about the game moving forward. I also like the way they've done the seasons, like the whole like Dracula New York thing sort of vibe they have going on. I think it's really cool, where you have the map that's centered around that. I assume the next map that's going to come out this season is also going to be centered in this Dracula New York thing, and then you have the whole battle pass is tied to that. I think it's really smart that everything kind of fits together thematically. When you play Midtown, which is the new map in the game, when you play that map like 3 years from now, you're going to think back to this event and like, oh yeah, that was a cool event. And I just feel like you're going to remember it. The battle pass itself is absolutely loaded with content. There's 10 skins. You get 10 skins for $10, and like 9 of them are just phenomenal skins. You know, the Penny Parker one is kind of whatever. It's just a blue Penny Parker. No one bats 1,000. So many good skins. And to get all of that for $10, like, this is probably the best battle pass I've ever seen in a video game. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if it's objectively the best battle pass in history, but out of the games I've played, I don't think anything competes with it. Next, I want to talk about the free content in the game, because not only can you buy these battle passes that are just loaded with good skins, you can get free skins too from these events. You can get the store skin for free that you can work towards. If you played rank play in season 0 and you hit above gold, you got that black and gold Moon Knight skin, which is sick. There's just a bunch of rewards for getting to different ranks in the game. You can get that chronosphere thing that shows up on your profile. Little rewards for rank play here and there, I think, go a long way. It just gives everything a lot more of a purpose. I do wish they would have more. I wish there was like different skins for each rank. Like, that'd be cool if there was like a different logo on like Moon Knight or something based off of the rank you hit. Because right now, hitting Grandmaster gives you the same rewards as hitting Celestial, which gives you the same rewards as hitting Eternity. I would like a little bit more to separate the ranks, but the fact that it's in the game at all, I think, is really cool. Also, you have the proficiency stuff, which you can get a bunch of sprays, like the KO thing that shows up on your screen when you're killing. Or if you get all the way to Lord on a hero, you get the separate avatar that shows up in game, which is just like, that's sick. I love that that's in the game. And it just rewards you for playing a lot of one hero. It also like has a use. If I'm in my GM game and I see that my Black Panther has max proficiency, I kind of feel like a sense of comfort. Like, this dude hit GM and has played that much Black Panther. I'm feeling pretty good about it, you know? Like, it has like an actual function in the game that you can kind of show to your teammates. Like, hey, I play this hero. Like, we're chilling, bro. We're chilling. Number 6, the replay system. The replay system might be in a lot of games, but it's not in every game. The Valorant community has been complaining that there's no replay system in the game for literally like 3 or 4 years at this point. But Marvel Rivals just drops the replay system on launch. You could watch your own replays back. You can watch your friends' replays back just through their profile. You can go to your teammates' POVs and like watch their old replays. The system just lets you do whatever you want in the replay system. I don't even know how they save that much footage onto the game. I don't know how that works, but like, by all means, I'm all here for it. I hate in other games when I have like a huge pop-off moment and I'm like, oh shit, I forgot to record. But in this game, I could just hop into the replay system, watch it back from my perspective, watch it back from the enemy's perspective if I want, watch them get absolutely pooped on by my Iron Man ult if I want to. I want to take a quick break from doing all this slurping of Marvel Rivals to talk about some things that I don't like about the game. I think that, like, while I do love a lot of it, I think there are some major issues that need to be changed and also some small things. I'll go rapid fire here. The biggest thing holding back the game right now is the FPS issues. It's probably the worst running FPS I've ever played. Like, compared to Overwatch, compared to Valorant, it's just not good. Even Call of Duty gets higher FPS than Marvel Rivals, and that game is equally not great. Also, certain heroes are at like an advantage if they have higher FPS. It's the thing going around social media right now where like literally some heroes are at a disadvantage if your computer can't run as high of an FPS, which is just crazy. I feel like I have a pretty good PC, but every time Doctor Strange uses his portal, my game just goes to shit. Things start skipping. It's not great. It needs to be fixed. Some smaller things. I think you should be able to surrender games with 5 votes instead of 6, because right now I've never surrendered a game in my life, and sometimes you just want to get out of the game and queue again, you know. The fact that you need all 6 people to vote yes on surrender, it's just never going to happen. There's always that one guy that doesn't want to. I think putting it on 5 out of the 6 votes is a better place. You can't 5 stack in the game, which I think is ridiculous. You could only 4 stack or 6 stack. I was trying to play with my friends the other day and we just couldn't queue up. We either had to kick someone or hop into quick play and hope to convince someone to join our stack. Can we just have 5 stacking? Like, I don't even get why that wouldn't be a thing. One thing in game that I get annoyed with is I can get used to the destructible environments. I can get used to the moving environments because it always moves the same way every game. Like, it's not RNG. You can actually predict it if you understand the map. But the thing that annoys me about the maps is when the map comes back right in front of your face. Like, so many times I'll have a free kill lined up. The other guy made a mistake. He's right in my crosshair. I have him dead to rights, and then he gets saved by the map just happening to come back. I get the big green wall in my face, and all of a sudden I can't kill him. I don't know. Maybe it's a skill issue. It annoys me. I think maybe like making it either take longer to come back so it's less of an issue, or maybe give you a longer warning before it's about to pop up in your face. I don't know. But the number one thing, my absolute biggest complaint with Marvel Rivals, nothing else comes close on my personal vendetta list, is this ugly ass text that just permanently in the top left of your screen. Like, bro, I get it. I need to stop the Yggdrasil tapping device from being distro ... prevent Jarnjaborn from reaching Yggdrasil. I get it. It doesn't need to be on my screen 24/7. It should go on your screen like before the game starts, and then it should fade away like right as the timer ticks down to 0, or just give me an option in the menus to turn it off. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. It makes me angry every time I look at it. It's gotta go. Please remove it. Please fix, please. All right, that's enough negativity. The 7th thing I think this game did right is it took inspiration from the comics. There are so many people that are new to the hero shooter genre that are here just because they're big Marvel fans. And I think the direction they've took with all of the comic stuff is really, really smart. You could tell that not only are the developers fans of the hero shooter genre, they're also just big Marvel fans. I feel like it comes across. I can't speak too much to this point because it's not personally what brought me to the game. Maybe you guys could let me know what about it is so great, but like I know a lot of people just love the way the heroes and the maps are implemented in this game. I like that the base hero design are like the comic characters, and then you can buy like the movie versions in the bundles. I think it's smart. I think it's a smart way for them to sell some skins. I know I bought 1 or 2, I won't lie. You could like read lore on the heroes while you're in the menus and stuff. Like it's just cool that they put all this stuff into the game. But overall, I think the art direction in this game was a very smart direction for them to go in. Moving from like broader game choices, I want to talk about something specific about the gameplay. I just love that the cart pushes by itself. It's such a small thing, but I think it just makes for better gameplay. I know I'm talking about Overwatch a lot, but I feel like I need to make the comparison. In Overwatch, you have to have at least one person pushing the cart for it to move forward. And this means that like, you know, usually the off-tank player or in ranks, a lot of times it's one of the support players, just gets stuck on the cart. A lot of times what you want to do in games like these is you want to push up, take space, and try to fight them while they're coming through the choke. Or you want to fight them early on, make them use some util, and then you back up and you kite them, and then you play. But this just means that the person pushing the cart a lot of the times doesn't have the agency over how the team fight is going to play out. And that just doesn't feel very good, right? Like it just doesn't feel good to be the guy stuck on cart while your teammates go up there and int the game. Because if you were stuck pushing the cart on Luna Snow, maybe you wouldn't be there to save your overextended tank. Having it so you capture the payload to move it forward, then the other team captures it to stop it, I think is just a really smart, easy choice. I think just makes the payload game mode in this game just a lot better. 9, the practice range is great. It's the best practice range ever. I talked about it in my improvement video. If you want the full spiel on why the practice range is so great and how to use it to its fullest, I talked about it a lot in that video. I recommend you go watch that. 10, I do have the in-game seasonal tournament. Now, every single season in Rivals, they're gonna have a tournament that you and your friends could play in for a chance to win 14,000 something dollars. The prize might change. I don't know. Who knows? That's how much the tournament is for. And just having a tournament system in game, it could have a $0 prize, and I think it would still be cool. Just the chance to play a competitive game in a different way other than ranked play, which can be very hit or miss. Dealing with random people is always going to create a lot of different variables. Having a way to play as a 6 in this game is just very good. You could approach this like one of two ways. Either you can just play it very casually, just play it with your friends, see if you can win a game or two, see how far you can get, just really have fun with it. Or if you're a more competitive person, obviously, you could try to gather an actual team with good fleshed out roles and try to actually win the whole thing. Anyone can win this. Like, you never know. It's just another way to play Marvel Rivals, and I love that it's just in here at the game's launch. 11, the in-game tournament viewer. If you like esports, if you like watching esports, you probably are like me, have thought to yourself like, hey, I want to be able to watch anyone's perspective whenever I want. What if I want to watch the role that I play? Let's say I'm a support player. What if I want to mainly watch the supports and see how supports play at the very highest level of the game? Or if I'm a tank player, I can watch them. The in-game tournament viewer in Marvel Rivals lets you do this. I think it's going to be very good for the esport that anyone can just watch the games whenever they want just by loading up Rivals. I can go back and watch the most recent tournament if I want to. I can load up the finals here and see exactly how they're playing it. It's just great. It's just another thing that Rivals did right. Let me know if I missed anything. What's your favorite thing that Marvel Rivals has added? Thank you guys for watching.